co-founder of the Backscratchers. And the Backscratchers is a handpicked network that connects innovative brands and companies with the best creative talent out there. I'm sure some of it's sitting in this room. It's a cross-disciplinary platform, which means we have people on our platform with skills ranging from graphic design and web development all the way through to music production, photography, even retail design. And when we came up with the idea for the Backscratchers, we wanted to build something which really addressed all of the many different needs that a creative professional faces, needs that weren't being addressed by sites that already existed. For example, you have portfolio websites like Behance and Dribbble and Carbon Made, and these are great sites, and they really allow you to showcase your work, but they can be quite static in their nature. They don't encourage collaboration or cross-disciplinary creation, and plus there are so many of them because a lot of them focus on one discipline each. And at the other end of the spectrum, you have your online recruitment sites like Elance and Freelancer. But what we found there, personally, and talking to other creatives, there's often a lack of focus on the creative industries. There's no curation, which means quality and innovation of the projects and the work that comes out of them can often be quite low. So the Backscratchers is not a passive portfolio website. I'm just going to try and run this demo video. We've designed it to be an active network, somewhere where users go to create work, where they go to find other people who are creating work that they want to work on. It's really that connection, that collaborative element that we want to focus on. So how does it work? So a user will sign up, they create their profile. Their profile obviously has their biography, their portfolio of past work in a range of different formats, the skills and resources that they can offer that community. But it also has their availability. It has their work and education history. And crucially, we feel, it actually asks them what they want to gain out of the site. What are the types of projects they're looking to get involved in? That could be joining a band. That could be co-founding a music tech startup. Really, it's quite wide open. And when they've got something they need help on, they create a project. And projects are really at the center of the Backscratchers. A project owner can set a budget. They can set a deadline for when that piece of work needs to be done. They can list any skills or resources they need that's tagged against that project. And when they publish it, that's publicly viewable to everybody. Anyone can apply to work on it, and the project owner then accepts or declines offers depending on the type of person or the skill set that they're after. And quality is really important to us. We're managing this in a couple of ways, and I alluded to one earlier. It's currently only invite only, and we're trying to grow the site by need, which means that we actually vet all the people who apply to be on our site, and that we actually source a creative of a particular skill if a certain brief or project is posted on our site and requires us to do so. But another way that we're trying to ensure quality is high is through our recommendations feature. So at the end of every project, we encourage both parties to actually rate the other user. They can link to the project page, they can actually upload the finished article of work, and that then, sorry, I knew I'd have an issue driving a video in PowerPoint. And that then sits on the other user's page, and that's publicly viewable. Yeah, so that's how we kind of want to ensure the community polices itself, the quality is kept at a high, because it's very transparent. So if you see someone has a bad rating, you just don't have to work with them. I'm just going to run you through a quick final feature that we have. It's a lists thing. So when we were talking to lots of creative companies we were bringing on and the individuals, they wanted a way to be able to collect people that they'd worked with and those that they were interested in working with in the future, so they didn't have to keep trawling through the site. So we've integrated this list feature. So as you go through the site, if you see, there you go again, if you see a piece of work that you like, you can simply add it to a list, these lists here, and you can come back to it for future access. It's really easy. It's a nice way to store people you admire, work that inspires you, whatever it may be. And that sits really well with some of the companies that we're bringing on. This is just an example of some of the work that we go through. Secret Cinema and Future Cinema, they're really valued partners of ours. Because of the size of their projects and the scale of them, they always need so many different creatives, whether that's a DJ, an illustrator, a designer, a set designer, live musicians, and often they come to us, which is great. And so we kind of want to expand with more events-type partnerships like these. We actually worked with some of the film guys that are in here today. I was going to put an image of that project up, but I didn't. And this is just a quick timeline, really. We launched a couple of months ago, and it's been going really well for us. We have a great base of users. The quality is really high. We have a waiting list, which we're sort of going through at the moment. We want to expand across the UK in the coming months, turning lights on in all the creative cities, Brighton, Bristol, Manchester, up to Edinburgh. And these are just a couple of products that we really want to develop are closed networks, a way to bring on an institution like Ravensbourne, for example, who have all these amazing creative students and alumni, a way that they can house them internally so they can communicate, collaborate, work together, but also access the wider Backscratchers community as and when they need to, is something which, again, sits really well. And it's something we want to talk to a lot of these music labels that we're going to be talking to. We think it could be really valuable for them, for their artists, but also for them as a company. And we'd like to develop a mobile app, something which addresses the ASAP nature of a lot of creative projects. So I need a photographer in 2 hours in North Greenwich. I can pay X amount. You know, that's something I think a lot of people have felt the pain of when somebody drops out of a project last minute. And that's something we want keen to develop later in the year. And of course, we'd like to expand to America. We have connections there. My co-founder's American. So that's a key aim of ours. Thank you very much for listening. And if you have any questions, feel free to come and grab me or ask now.
Yep.
Thanks.
Nope. There's time for questions now. Yep.
I was wondering if on the list section,
Yep.
you have an area where the user can write a comment next to it, like, I really like this person because of this. So like a mental note for them to help them
Right,
remember.
okay.
Because as an artist, musician myself, I remember if you say I've been approached by a promoter, I've been asked to play a certain thing, often I have to make a database of the work so I know when to contact people, where I met them, where they asked me to play, because you come across so many people, it's really hard to remember.
That's a very interesting point. I mean, at the moment, we don't, sorry, were you still talking?
No.
We don't have that function at the moment, but you can create as many lists as you like, so you can personalize them at the front. So you
Okay.
can say, so if it's an event you were at, you can say,
Yeah.
Music Tech Fest, North Greenwich date, and then you can kind of put people in there.
Cool.
And it's all very visual, our site, so you click through via photos or via the work, video, a song, you know, with lots of musicians on there as well. So that's great, that's really good functionality. If anyone else has any cool things like that, please come and talk to me, because we're trying to grow this site for people like yourselves. So.
Thank you. Any more comments, questions? No? No? I'm going to ask you a quick question.
Go for it.
How are you going to make money?
Yes. Like, at the moment, we're sort of raising money, so that's why I ran a badly done video in the middle of what was a botched pitch deck. We take an 8% on paid projects that go through the platform. So we undercut all the recruiters. We actually undercut a lot of those other websites I said, like Elance and Odesk. The idea being repeat purchases. If it works, if you go on there, you find someone who does that project on time, on budget, you're going to come back for your next project. And so we consider our commission to be quite low, but it's repeat purchases. And also those two products I said, closed networks, we would charge for up front, and again, the mobile app.
So there's a premium element to this as well?
There is a premium element to it, yes.
And advertising?
No, at the moment we don't want to advertise on our site, no. Because it's quite a closed community, it's quite private, it's not exclusive, but we're trying to keep the quality up that way, so to plaster it with things, not really. We're trying to stay clear of that.
If you can do it without it, that's great.
You can do it without it, yeah.
Okay, so thanks a lot to Patrick Elliot from Backscratchers.
Thanks.